Hey everyone, I'm Philip and thank you for watching this week's video in my motivational series called How to Fly with a Clipped Wing. In previous videos, I've talked about how patience, perspective, positivity, perseverance, and passion have all helped me adapt to life after my spinal cord injury in 2006. However, in this video, I'd like to share some more thoughts with you on the things that inspired the Clipped Wing title of both this series and the book that I've been working on. Some more thoughts about it that add to what I was mentioning toward the end of my last video. Years ago, before I decided to amputate my paralyzed arm, I carried it with me in an arm sling wherever I went. Basically, this was a way for me to carry around the dead weight of the arm without too much risk of it getting hurt or hastening the deterioration that it was already naturally experiencing from the paralysis. And the arm sling wasn't just an everyday regiment, it seemed to me like an everything regiment. I had to wear it like 80% or 90% of the time because of all the muscles had they deteriorated to the point where they were too weak to hold my joints together, especially in the shoulder. So if I didn't wear the arm sling, my shoulder would often dislocate and droop downward on its own, which was super painful. My wrist would dislocate and fall to the side. It was really a mess. So yeah, that's why I was wearing it so often. And if I wasn't already wearing the arm sling while I slept, then I'd need to go through a whole process of putting it on before I got out of bed every single morning and throughout the day for the 6 years that I had the arm. Sitting up, cradling the arm on my lap, laying out the sling, lifting the arm in the arm sling the correct way, securing the different straps that stabilized the sling, tightening the straps, sliding the sling around to make sure that my arm was tucked away and secure as possible, etc. I'd need to take breaks during the day where I'd need to find a chair or bench with an armrest that I could sit in and detach my arm sling in order to rest my arm on the armrest and get my shoulder a break and everything. I'd constantly be fidgeting with the arm sling and adjusting it and tightening it every few minutes throughout the day. So yeah, it pretty much governed my life every day because of how the paralysis governed my energy levels throughout each day. So since my arm was always in this damn arm sling, it was something that people would always notice. But it appeared simply broken, since you couldn't really tell that it was all deteriorated and had some actual rigor mortis type stuff going on because the arm sling covered basically all of it, except my fingertips that were always so cold and stiff and curled up like this. My wrist looked like that. Day after day, especially at work or at school, people would always ask me, how did you break your wing? What'd you do to your wing? How did you get your wing clipped? And early on, these questions really ate away at me because each time I was reminded that it wasn't simply broken and that with every new day came more deterioration, more pain, and more likelihood that I would never use my arm again. And as time has gone on, though, I've learned to consider these questions much more differently than I used to. I started thinking about how this clipped wing of mine that people kept mentioning was really preventing me from getting me where I wanted to go in life, just like a bird in a pet shop or a zoo that has actually had its wings clipped, preventing me from achieving inner peace and stability and positivity in my life. And by the way, the more I thought about my clipped wing, the more I realized what was preventing me from taking flight, so to speak, was not simply my arm or the pain or the need to wear my arm sling all day every day. My clipped wing was my sense of resignation that all hope was lost. My clipped wing was my sense of anger and emotional pain that I allowed to take control of my perceptions and my actions towards myself and others. My clipped wing was the delusion that I'd rather feel the pain and the soreness from doing major surgeries over and over and over again to try and reshape and reconstruct my arm after rather than look disfigured from my amputation. My clipped wing was my inability to see clearly what really was important in life and what I really wanted out of life. What's important ultimately was quality of life and source of happiness. My unhappiness and depression and anger all resulted from my lack of understanding that what matters most is making the most out of life right here, right now, and to make decisions that I could be happy about making rather than searching for things that I needed before I could be happy. And these were my clipped wings. And as I became more in touch with reality and what was really important in life and where I needed to actually look in order to find happiness and adaptability within myself, I started noticing people around me that had clipped wings of their own. There are lots and lots of clipped wings out there, but here are a couple examples that I could think of. A huge one that I noticed in some others was cynicism. If you are really so convinced that people are bad and selfish and it's only a matter of time before someone inevitably hurts you, so what's the point? Then what you've done is put up horse blinders and seriously hindered your receptivity to those people in life that do actually care about you or who you could actually learn from. Cynicism is a big one because after a while, good things in life could totally present themselves to you despite your hindered receptivity, and you wouldn't even know it. Or God forbid, you're so deep in cynicism that you even think just as negatively about yourself and believe you don't deserve the positivity that's in front of you. There's more to life than that. There's more. Life is more beautiful than that type of worldview, and you owe more to yourself than what that type of thinking affords you, which is basically nothing. Nothing except pain and fear. Maybe your clipped wing is a learning disability. This is a good example of a clipped wing that one wouldn't really be in control of, that can keep you from getting where you want to go in life or from feeling capable or worthy. But as someone who spent time in remedial special needs classes in high school and have felt those same feelings, and looking back on still making it through college and flight school and everything, this clipped wing is no different from any other. To learn how to fly despite this type of clipped wing is to understand that you don't need to fit into some imperfect, overly standardized system developed by imperfect, under-standardized humans, by the way, that tells you if you don't study this or that in this way and take your test this way and don't get these grades in this way, and if you don't do this and that and this through schooling, then that means you have developmental problems and aren't meant for success in school and you should settle for whatever job you can get. That is complete bullshit. Instead, what you need to do is to pick your head up and realize that you are just like most people in the sense that you have not unlocked your full potential yet, and you have not discovered what you really excel at, and that once you do spread those wings a bit, you will find more fulfillment than many of those who did make it through that system. You have the potential to be happier than those people, to find more purpose in your life than those others who have yet to find purpose and quality and substance in theirs, even though they made it through. I think that part of learning to fly despite this type of clipped wing is to be okay with not fitting into the box that so many others are always trying to cram things into in order to understand what's going on around them. So yeah, these were some of the thoughts I wanted to share with you about where the title of this series came from, where the title of my book came from, and what my own clipped wings were, and some of the things in life that might have your wings clipped too. The thing about it all, though, is that when you're patient enough with yourself to think clearly about how to work through the challenges that life puts in front of you, when your perspective is healthy and keeps you focused on the right things, when you keep that positive mentality, when you keep moving forward and persevering, and when you are guided by the things that you're passionate about, then you have the tools that you need to learn how to find success and happiness despite the forces in life that would otherwise weigh you down. Leave some comments or send me some messages on what clipped wings you've seen or you can think of. Please check out my website at www.howtoflywithaclippedwing.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in next week's video. Thanks for watching.